Hello everyone. Today we are going to look at how to create an effect like this. I will loop it. So you can see that the text is decimating and the particles are falling on the ground. Okay. So you can see that I will just explain you what is happening in the scene. There is a text and we have added a boolean. Okay, and then we have animated the boolean. Then we have used particles that fall down. So we will go through step by step how to do this. Save this and reset it. The first thing you're going to do is create text and go to Modify panel and modify the text, and it can say whatever you want. I will say Decimate. I can even change the font. Okay, so try to use a different font and see how it looks. There was one font, I'm looking for that one. This one. Okay, so I'm going to use this font. I need some tracking, so there is a more distance between the text. Okay. By the way, if you go to customize unit setup, I'm using metric centimeters, so you can use the same numbers that I'm using. So the tracking can be 5. The text is 63.5, which is default. I'm fine with that. And then we're going to extrude it the number of 10. That looks good. All right. So we created our text. The text has to be slightly above the ground so it can fall down. Okay, something like that. Okay. We are going to set up the camera and then it's going to fall to the ground here. So it is around 100. So if you want to use the dimensions. Okay, I think it should be higher than 100, but we'll work with that. 110, I guess. All right. Now we'll create a box. Okay, this box has to be big enough to cover the entire text. All right. We'll select the text, go to font objects, boolean. We're going to use subtract and then select the other operands, so everything disappears. Go to Modify panel, open the operand, move it down, and now it is visible. Okay, so if you turn the auto key on, and after 30 frames the text will disappear. Okay, so you can see that the text is disappearing, but there is an even line for the text, so I want uneven line. So what I will do is I will remove the operand. Alright, so We'll create the box again. Okay, this time we will add more geometry to the box. 10 10 10, and width wise it is 40 times wide, so we use 40, so we get squares. Alright, then we will add a noise modifier. Okay, and then we'll make it fractal, and then we increase the roughness to 10, and then we will make y as 10. Is it Z? Yeah, Z is 10, Y is 10. So we just need this unevenness on top. Then we can again do the boolean. Select the text, go to Modify panel, and this time we will add this text. Then if you select the operand, auto key will be on. I will go to 75 and make it disappear. Okay, and then this will be moved to say 10 or something. To subtract it. Alright, you can see that the text is disappearing unevenly. That's fantastic. Alright, once that is done, we will have to create particles. So we will go to spacebar, actually create particle systems, PF source. So just click somewhere in the scene to create the PF source, and you can see that particles are generated. Now we will work with this. Now what we want is a plane, so I'm going to create a plane and create a small plane like this. We will name it particle plane. Alright, and now we need to animate the particle plane so that it matches the text animation. So we wanted to so it has to be slightly above the decimation. Okay, so we are going to why we are doing this is this is going to be our source of emittance for the particles. Okay, so save this. Forget about saving. Alright, so we'll select the particles, go to particle view, and we'll see the birth. So now we need to decide when the particles should start. So you can see here the text has started decimating at around 25. So our particles will start from 25 and they should end at 60. So they will start at 25 and end at 60. You have 400 particles that will be created. Okay, position, not to worry about. Speed, shape, so we'll make it cube, and display we will make it geometry. Okay, so you can see that the particles are created, and now we'll go back to shape and make the size 5. Okay, now what we need is that the particle should be generated from this source. Okay, from this source, not this. So what we will do is right click here, insert operator, position object. Okay, the position object will select by list, and particle plane is what we are going to select. And now the particles will be generated from the plane. Alright, fantastic. Now what we need is a plane where the particles will fall. So we'll create a plane and name it ground. Alright, now if you go to forces, deflectors, will create a deflector, and this deflector is going to deflect our I have a bad habit of saving the file, so let me just go ahead and save it. Alright, so now the particles are falling, but they go through the plane, so we want them to deflect through this deflector. So we'll again select this guy, modify panel, particle view, right click, insert operator, test, and we need collision. Alright, select collision by list, deflector. Alright, so now you can see that particles are deflecting, but we will select our collision object and bounce we will make 0. Alright, so the particles now stay on the ground. Awesome. Okay, now what we'll do is select the particles, particle view. If you go to speed, there is divergence. So if you add 10 as divergence, the particles will spread across, maybe 5. Okay, so we want the particles when they fall. Okay, now see how they keep moving. What we will do is we will insert test, what is it called, stop gradually. Okay, and collision is bounce, divergence we can add. Okay, so the particles are now falling and moving a bit. Now the plane has to be moved down so that the particles are above. Okay. Now we need the text and the particles to have same color. So we'll go to material editor, add a standard material, we'll call it particle material. Okay, so it's going to be white color. You can add some shininess to it, and we'll select the text, assign the material. Now we cannot assign the material to the particles, so we will select the particles again, particle view, and we will add an operator, static material. Material static, Click here, scene material. Okay, now the particles and the objects have same color. Alright, so now we will add the scene and lights and render the animation. That's it, we are done. Now we will select this, right click, object properties, and we'll make sure that it doesn't cast shadows and receive shadows, and then we will hide it so it doesn't bother us. Alright, then we'll create camera, remove the target for the camera so it becomes easy to work with the camera. Here we will go to cameras, look through camera, show save frame, render settings, HDTV, and we will use 720. Save it. Alright, so we will select this. We will create a new material for the a darker color material. We will assign that material to the ground. Angle snap on, rotate, shift, and copy a material, copy the object for the background. Okay, now we need to make sure that the text is in the scene, the camera is capturing everything. Alright, so we have set up the camera now. Everything is in the frame. Just add two lights. Go to lights, standard lights, go to 8 and make sure you don't have any exposure. We want to do very simple target direct light which falls down, one direct light which falls in this direction. Okay, go to modify panel, intensity and directional parameters. The hotspot needs to be big. And for this also, you can always overshoot it. Even this, better to overshoot it. Render it. Now shadows are missing, so select the top one, turn the shadows on, make them area shadows. Let us see here how the shadows look. Okay, so you got the shadows, the particles fall, the particles have shadows as well. Everything looks good, it's ready to be rendered. Render settings, active time segment 0 to 100, decide where you want to save it, render at output. I will save it as a QuickTime movie, and if you go to setup, I'm using H264 best quality. That looks good. Decide where you want to save the file. character name and hit render. Okay, and you can see it's going to take 2.5 minutes to render. And that's about it. So hope you liked the tutorial. Please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. I try to upload one tutorial every day. So the tutorials are short, simple, and the rendering takes less time. And as we go on to the advanced stuff, the tutorials may be divided into multiple parts. But if you can give me 10-15 minutes a day, I'm going to teach you everything from basics to advanced animation, special effects, character animation, rigging, texture mapping, etc. Thank you.